Alright, class, listen up. Where have I been? Not doing YouTube, I can tell you that. I've gotten to some new stuff recently. Um, Now, first things first, am I sorry for being gone for a year? No, probably never will be. Um, so, like I said, I've gotten into some new stuff recently. One of them being Hatsune Miku music, Vocaloid. Uh, and God of War, I've been really into recently. So, thought I'd just yap for a little bit, just as like a comeback, just what's gonna happen with the channel. So, what's gonna happen with the channel is I want to break from from like review videos to doing stuff like this, right? Just sitting down in front of a camera, just yapping to somebody, whoever's across the screen right now. So, yeah, God of War I've been really enjoying recently. Started with God of War 2018, moved on to Ragnarok, and just very recently I got God of War 3 remastered. Really enjoying God of War 3 right now. God of War Ragnarok, honest to God, was like, actually no, is my new favorite like video game of all time. Originally it was God of War 2018, and then before that was Spider-Man for the PS4. But yeah. Oh, another thing I got into, the anime Chainsaw Man. So, for those who don't know what Chainsaw Man is, right? It's about, okay, so first, okay, I should probably say this first. I'm not good at explaining things, right? So I'm gonna butcher every single one of these things. So, Chainsaw Man, right? It's about this kid, right? About this teen who, what the fuck? Who like fuses with like his pet devil and becomes like the Chainsaw Devil, right? I'll have editing me in the future just put up a picture of Chainsaw Man. So, yeah, that's another thing I've gotten into recently, Chainsaw Man. I really ought to tell you about Denver Fan Expo for a little bit. So, I got to meet some really cool voice actors, Yuri Lowenthal, Nolan North, and Christopher Judge. For those who don't know who those characters play, at least from what I know them from, Yuri Lowenthal plays Spider-Man in the PlayStation games. Nolan North plays Deadpool in some Marvel video games. He's coming back for Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, I hear. And Christopher Judge plays like the new Kratos, right? In like the Norse God of War games. So that's who I got to meet at Comic-Con or Fan Expo. I tend to call Comic-Con and Fan Expo like the same thing, because to me they're generally goddamn, I can't speak. So they're generally like the same concept, right? I know Colorado Springs is gonna have Comic-Con in somewhere in August. I'm hoping to go, and excuse me, and I do plan on cosplaying it again. Well, for Fan Expo, I went as Riddler from the Batman 2022 as like my first cosplay I ever did, and I was thinking for Colorado Springs Comic Con, I could go as Deadpool, dressed up as Hatsune Miku. It's a concept that I've just had in my head for so long now. I'm sure it's not an original idea, but I just remember just thinking to myself in the middle of the night, I really ought to do that. So yeah, that's gonna be the plan for that. And for that Comic Con, right, for Colorado Springs, there's only like one person I want to meet so far from who's been announced, and that's Sean Schemmel, I think that's his name. He plays Goku in the Dragon Ball series, which I did forget to mention. Dragon Ball Z, that's another franchise I've got into. I think I started Dragon Ball Z probably a month ago, and I'm just now getting onto the Frieza saga. So far, my favorite character is either Raditz or Piccolo. I'm really fond of those two. Guess I should probably also talk a little bit about Chainsaw Man, huh? So, for Chainsaw Man, I would say my favorite character in that show, I genuinely don't know. I I'm pretty fond of Aki Hayakawa for some time now. I've been pretty fond of him. Um, yeah, that's all about it. I have to talk about Chainsaw Man, really. Um, actually, no. I just started collecting like the manga books for Chainsaw Man. Um, I just wrapped up volume two, and I am to understand that there's like 20 something issues. But I have heard that the ending was very okay. So, so then when I figured out that information, right? I honestly God just told myself, just if I liked the ending to Peacemaker season two, I might like the ending to Chainsaw Man. Uh, so yeah, that's going on right now. Just me collecting all the volumes to Chainsaw Man. Uh, hmm. What else is there to talk about? Recently, uh, gotten some other like Chainsaw Man figures. I got the Anime Heroes Chainsaw Man, and there's this one. There's this like smaller Chainsaw Man. I think they put out it. I don't know if it was like a. It's not really a blind box, really, because it tell you like who's in what box, right? And it was at Barnes and Noble. The box was like yay tall, and when you open the box, you had to like build the figure, kind of. So got Chainsaw Man for that. I know, they like the other characters are from like the Raze arc movie. So you have the Bomb Devil, Kobeni, Beam, the Shark Fiend, characters like that. So yeah, that's the like newest figure in my collection right now. Um, at Comic Con and at Fan Expo, right? Uh, that was like how I got into Chainsaw Man, really. So after actually no, like during Comic Con, I saw a few people dressed up as Denji, which is for those who don't know, which is like the the host of the Chainsaw Devil. It I've always imagined like the devils as to be like symbiotes from Marvel Comics, right? So kind of like Venom. So I saw I saw a few Chainsaw Mans there, and when I got home, right, I took the post Comic Con nap, right, for like 3 hours, and when I woke up, I just thought to myself, just I'm really interested in what Chainsaw Man is about. So I just grabbed my phone, got on the website, and watched Chainsaw Man, and excuse me, that's how that started. So that's how I got into Chainsaw Man. Uh, so with God of War, how I got into God of War, right? I was just getting a haircut, and I told my barber, because me and my barber, we just like to talk to each other for a little bit, right? Just about like crap we like, stuff, shit like that. So I told him that like, I've always wanted to play like one of the God of War games, just to see what it's about, right? Because I have a PlayStation 5. So then he told me, you ought to check out the 2018 game. And then he told me about it. I got to play it like probably, we're gonna say 3 months ago. So I played God of War 2018, thought it was like the greatest goddamn thing ever. Um, and that's how God of War, my like love for God of War started. And yes, I have heard of the trilogy remake. I'm very interested on what they're gonna do with that, because I don't know if they're gonna like redo the entire game with like TC Carson like redoing all his lines for Kratos, right? Like other voice actors like from the original trilogy will come back for God of War, and they're gonna do like what they did with God of War 2018, and like the perspective of that game, like you're kind of over Kratos' shoulder, kind of like that, if you know what I mean. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look at gameplay for like God of War Ragnarok or 2018, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Um, let's see. Let's talk about comics for a little bit. Let's talk about comic books. I'm out of space for comic books, so I can't really like get anymore. Though I only have like two exceptions, and that's for Absolute Batman and Absolute Superman. Mainly because Absolute Batman is like my favorite comic book series of all time. I have met the writer Scott Snyder, really great guy. Um, yeah, just Absolute Batman. I really like that comic. Absolute Superman, I really like, but not as much as Absolute Batman. It's probably either like my third or second favorite comic book that I've read. I don't know what the other comic favorite comic I would have. Probably Deadpool Wolverine. Um, but yeah, it's really about it that I've wanted to talk to you for a little bit. Uh, but yeah, am I sorry for being gone for a year and a half? No, I am not sorry for that. You guys can fucking live with it. So, that's about it. That's all I gotta say. Later, buddies.